Hey Forest family, you're very welcome back to a Skogok Mark. Myself, Anita, who's behind the camera as always, say hey.
Hi.
Are just out for a stroll. This is the woodland that runs at the back of our home here in Sweden. And we noticed that one of the haversacks that we have in the house happens to be missing a button. And it's a very easy fix because not everybody carries a sewing kit on them. So using quite simply your pocket knife or Victorinox or whatever you choose to carry in your pocket, but it must have an awl, or if you have a size 9 sail needle or something of the likes, but an awl is my preferred one. And a stick can be many things. This is just a downed one that was on the ground. It can be a pot hanger, a tripod if you've got your forest eyes on, but also it's a load of buttons, a load of pre-made buttons ready to go of different sizes, and I thought I'd show you how to make one really quickly on the fly for your repairs in the woods. So first things first, you want to pick the size of your button. And a branch comes in many different sizes. You got your small buttons here and your big buttons down the bottom. But here now is going to be perfect for what we need to replace our haversack button with. But then you just want to do a quick spin around, and you should do this with all wood that you plan on using in projects. And you're trying to pick the most part that's minus any knots, doesn't have any blemishes in it like this. There's no gnarly bits growing off. And I think this section here is about perfect for what we need to do. That's some nice advice going forward in the future when you're working with trees and natural materials. So we're going to cut this bit off here. So once you make your first initial cut, don't cut your piece off completely. This is just to give you something firm to hold, and you can still leave it attached to the entire tree. And the reason why is because the next step requires the use of the awl. This is always a this is always a fantastic attachment to have on your pocket knife, any pocket knife, whether it be Victorinox or not. An awl is a very useful piece of equipment in the woods. But because you've left this piece on, we are now going to simply make 2 buttonholes where we would sew it on. And the internal wood of a tree, the hardwood, is very soft, so you don't need to stab or puncture anything like that to get it going. So you just want to get it in a little bit. Our button is going to be about between 8 to 10 mil thick, judging by the eye. And then you can get another one in here. And the reason why you take it nice and easily, and you can see my hand is nice and safe and the branch is nice and stable, is because you don't want to come out the side of the wood. If you've only allowed yourself this much, you can easily puncture out the side of the wood here, or it can close up, which just happen with awls. Not all awls are locking, but if you are a bit nervous of your awl closing over, or even your saw closing over, wrap a piece of paracord around it and this will stop that folding over. But once you have your 2 buttonholes created, it's on to the next step. Okay, so very simply you can see the awl holes there either side, and then you take your saw and choose the size of your button, whether you wanted 10 mil, 8 mil, a little thicker button. Sometimes woods can be really soft, so don't be afraid to go a little deeper with the awl. But once you saw it, you simply pop, and there you go. You got a very simple, very easy button for your haversack or for your clothes. Takes no time at all, and these are a great one for scout projects and one to collect around camp. I actually think I'm going to keep this one because it's got a beautiful piece of fat wood on the outside of it there, and can't wait to get home and sew this onto my haversack and get back out in the woods.